Greetings, humans. What am I holding in my hands right now? If you're of a certain generation, you know exactly what this is. It's a Nintendo Game Boy. This one in particular is my and my older brother's family Game Boy. It's the original one. Lo and behold, the only game I currently have inside features this famous piece of music. Y'all know what that is. It's Tetris. I might be late to the party because I just learned that that tune is actually an old Russian folk song, Korobainiki. I'm definitely butchering that pronunciation. I need a couple of shots of vodka and I'll still butcher the pronunciation. That piece of music was arranged for the Nintendo Game Boy in 1989 by none other than Chip Tanaka. I'm not a gaming channel. Why am I talking about Game Boy and Tetris? Well, you know me. Today, I'm going to put the music from this onto this cassette loop. This is a great cassette tape loop made by the folks over at Battery Operated. This one is particularly special because you can see right here, it's got access to this hole and you can like manually wiggle it around and do some awkward tape stops and funny sounds. Uh-oh. How am I gonna get Game Boy sounds onto the tape loop? Well, with the OP1 sampler, of course. So let's head over to the sampling. Okay, as you can see here, there's a lot of stuff on my desk right now. We're gonna focus on getting the sounds from the Game Boy onto the OP1. The Game Boy conveniently has a headphone jack. So I've got this 1/8 inch to 1/8 inch cable, and it's gonna go into the OP1. I'm gonna go to the synth engine of the OP1. I'm gonna go over to channel 8, and now I'm gonna hit the microphone, and it says to sample, that all I gotta do is press this, and it's in standby mode, and it'll be waiting for me to send a recording to it. And it can record 12 seconds, and I'm gonna record a chunk of this music. Now let's see if we succeeded and listen to the track, the sample we just recorded on the OP1. Oh, there it is. It's Tetris. Now it's on all these keys and I can make chords with that if I want. Here I am zooming in on the waveform on the OP1. You can see the full waveform of the full recording, and I'm just gonna isolate a little snippet that I think could work for what I wanna do. And you'll see what that is in a minute. I found a little chunk. Let's go down an octave and see what we got. You can hear where I'm starting to go. Let's go down 2 octaves. How about another octave?
Three hours later.
4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2. It's kind of in 7 right now. Let me make it in 6. Yeah. Today we're doing sound on sound tape loops, and that's what the aluminum foil is for. If you're new to the channel or don't know how tape machines work, there are usually 2 or 3 heads, and the first one is always an erase head. You can prevent the erase head from being engaged if you stick a piece of aluminum foil between the erase head and the tape itself. And that's what we're doing today. Let's go ahead and record track 1. The whole point of having that piece of aluminum foil is to prevent any gaps in the tape loop. Normally, if you don't use a piece of aluminum foil, as soon as you hit stop, there's gonna be a gap that's the size of the distance between the erase head and the record head. So like an unnatural skip sounding. It can be very cool and vibey, but I don't want that today. So let's hear what we got on track 1, and there should be no gaps. Nice. Okay, moving on to track 2. I think a similar vibe, like a low note, but in a different key. Now I'm really gonna isolate just a single note. What if we go down an octave? All right, let's hear track 1 again. And let's pan it a little bit. And now let's slowly bring in track 2 on the other side. And then pan first one out. Can you tell it's a Tetris theme song? Do 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 do. Track 3. So I tend to also want to hear some kind of rhythm or melodic content. A fun trick is to take a sample and crank it so fast that it becomes pitch. I don't even have any effects on. This is just the sound of the Tetris sample way up high. This is what, 4 octaves up? Now let's maybe give it a little something to do, maybe a little delay. I already found something. Let's give this a little more delay though. I vaguely found a part. Let's see how that came out. Okay, moving on to track 4. I think I found a sound. Check this out. Let's hear what that sounds like. Now, let me mess around with the little feature that this tape loop has. I can physically, bump the wheel. Let's see what that sounds like. First with our drones. Yeah! Oh yeah! I could do a full tape stop. Uh-oh, I just destroyed the loop. Look at, I'm gonna have to fix that right now, off camera. Well, that's a Nintendo sampled into an OP1 and then turned into a tape loop, but I'm not done. You see all these fun effects we got right here? I wanna show you how I would treat this now that we have 4 mono tracks, to get a little bit of life into this tape loop. And I've got that coming back into channels 5 and 6, hard panned, so you should get a stereo effect. I'm gonna turn the whammy and the reverb off, and I just want you to hear the stereo effect on one instrument. All right, now let's see if we can hear the widening of the chorus. Pretty cool. Let's add a little bit of reverb. Now let me turn the whammy on. Whammy! And feed it back into itself. Yeah, there's something nostalgically spiritual about taking my family's old Game Boy and making new music out of it, albeit very creepy music. If you like what I do on this channel, I really appreciate your support, all that YouTube stuff, the likes, and then hit me up over on patreon.com/madeontape. With that, as always, is peace and be good to each other.